Comes down on touchdown and running on weight now is Champagne Colour through the middle and wider out Caro Veloce. There's the Umburamai. Umburamai might be the big threat late. It's in the middle, starting to stretch out in Champagne Colour. Champagne Colour is going to cause the upset. Champagne Colour will win from Umbrayu. Umburamai runs third, then Caro Veloce.
And that was the closing stages of what was a wet and wild NHK Mile Cup, won by 22-1 outsider Champagne Colour. I'm AsianRacingReport.com editor Michael Cox, and I caught up with our chief journalist David Morgan, who was at Tokyo Racecourse today to cover the big Group 1. David, a wet, sodden, misty day there at Tokyo Racecourse. Tell us about the race. Tell us about what you saw.
Yeah, wet, very wet, absolutely poured down from about midday. And look, that might have reflected in the result of this race, which it was a shock result. Big price winner. Champagne Colour wasn't what most people expected. But, you know, the race went really well for his jockey Uchida. I spoke to him after the race and he said, you know, he'd be given his instructions. They went a bit quick early on, but his horse was able to come into it and the race really went as he had hoped it would go. And he was good enough to get up and win it on that ground. He also said that he didn't think that, you know, jockeys, I guess a winning jockey would say this, that the ground, yeah, he handled the ground, but he thinks he'll be better on top of the ground even. So they're quite positive about this horse going forward. The trainer said he doesn't know what he's going to do with him yet. He's a trainer, 62 years old, I think he is now, something along those lines, and he's had a Group 1 winner before, Logotype, but I don't think he'd had a winner this season for something like 72 runners he's had without a winner, and then today's popped in with a Group 1, which maybe again reflected in the price of this horse. He was a horse that had won his first two as a 2-year-old, and then he actually had bits of good form. He was 6th to Sol Oriens, who obviously went on and won the Guineas back in January. He was favourite for the Derby. So, you know, he came in with little bits of form there. So, big price, but a horse that could have ability and upside to him.
Yeah, trainer Yoshi Tanaka was 0 for 72 so far this year. He hadn't won a race since November last year. He's trained some good horses before. He trained Logotype, and that was his last Group 1 win, was Logotype when he upset Morris in the 2016 Yasuda Kinnan. But been a long time between drinks for Hiroyuki Uchida as well. He's a popular jockey, Gold Ships jockey from back in the day, and won a Derby on Asian Flash. So, yeah, a feel-good story. Not much good for the punters there at 22-1 with Champagne Colour. The up, and even Umbrella, the runner-up, was 12-1. Favourite Caro Veloce, ridden by Australian Damien Lane. You caught up with Damien after the race. Any excuses given for the favourite there?
Not really. I mean, the thing that Damien mentioned to me overall was that, you know, things are going great here. Obviously, he's really enjoying his time. The success is coming. Last weekend, he had an absolutely fantastic weekend, as everyone knows. And, you know, he just said, you can't have a weekend like that every time. And this weekend he's had the one win. He said a couple of things didn't quite go his way with the horses, and some horses just weren't good enough. And what I gauged here was, you know, the fans, they've latched onto him. You know, they've seen that he's successful. They've definitely latched onto him.
Okay, and big week ahead. Group 1 racing today. They're an upset, and as you mentioned, Damien Lane, great, support so far. Great record in Japan this stint. He rode Sadashi in the Victoria Mile. 7 days from now, you'll be there for Asian Racing Report. What are you expecting?
Well, I'm expecting the Sadashi fans to be out in force, that's for sure. Look, she's a real good horse, Sadashi. She's proven it. I think we had this conversation the other day. She's a good horse. She's a Group 1 winner multiple times, but she's elevated by what she looks like, you know, and the fan bases that she's got, that Uma Musume kind of effect going on with her. And she's beatable for sure, but she could also win it. Stars on Earth going in that race is a fantastic filly, but that drop down to the mile, she might just find things happening quickly. She's better over further probably, but she is top class. So it's going to be a cracking race. and you can throw in 2 or 3 others in there with a shout.
Really looking forward to it. Thanks for joining us from Tokyo Racecourse, David Morgan. Chat soon.
Cheers. Thank you.